Myron here with Big Y Fly Company, and today we're going to discuss how to rig up your basic setup for nymphing for steelhead. Now, you're going to start off with your fly line choice. Typically, this is just going to be a floating fly line. My two favorites are Rio Switch Line and Rio Switch Chucker line. This is the new In Touch Switch Chucker. Really good fly line, as well as what's on this 10-foot rod. I think this is a 7-weight. This is Rio's Switch Line. Both of them work really well for nymphing. So after you've got your fly line, you're going to take a tapered leader in your preferred length. My preferred length is the 9 foot, and I'm going to be running a 10-pound test. So after you've chosen your leader length and your pound test, just unwrap it from the package. All Rio leaders have a loop connection. And we're simply going to do a loop-to-loop connection between this leader and your fly line. So after you've got your leader and fly line connected, you're just going to go ahead and tie on your fly. In this case, I'm going to be tying on a heavy stone fly. This is our conehead epoxy stone. Got a little bit of weight to it. You're going to tie that right on the end with your standard improved clinch knot. Now, you could certainly just nymph this stone. However, I really prefer to run a dropper setup on most of my indicator rigs for steelhead fishing. And we'll do that. We'll take this salmon and steelhead tippet by Rio. This is 12-pound. We'll take about 18 to 20 inches. And you have two choices here. You can either tie it through the eye again with the same knot, or you can tie it on the hook bend. I prefer the hook bend just because I feel it helps a lot with preventing tangles. So now that you've got your dropper tippet tied on, we're going to go ahead and choose an egg pattern. Egg patterns work really well as a dropper fly on a 2-fly nymphing setup for steelhead. And you're just going to tie it on, same as you did that last fly with that improved clinch knot. So now that we've got our dropper attached and our main fly attached, at this point we're going to assess the water and the weight of our flies and determine if we want to put on any additional split shot. For me, this fly has got enough weight that I don't feel like I'm going to need any extra weight. But if you're fishing faster water or you're using not quite as heavy of a fly, you can put a split shot or two right above your first fly, typically about 12 to 18 inches above that. So now that I've determined that I don't need any additional split shot on this setup, the next step is going to be to attach my indicator. I'm going to take this is a thingamabobber indicator. These are what I prefer. This is a 3/4 inch diameter. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on my leader. To do that, simply take your leader, put a loop in it. You're going to thread this loop right through the eye of the indicator. Once that loop goes through, you're just going to thread your indicator right through it and pull both tag ends. So after you've got your indicator attached, the next step is simply going to be to start fishing. Your first step when you approach a hole with this setup should be to assess the water depth and adjust your indicator accordingly. So if you're fishing 5 feet of water, you're going to want your indicator to be somewhere between 5 and 6 feet above your weight or your first fly. So I'm fishing a 5 feet deep hole here. I'm going to set my indicator to about 5.5 feet from this first fly. So that's your basic nymphing setup for fishing for steelhead. Now why don't you get out there, give it a shot, let us know how you do. Good luck.